I will be using a modality referred to as Biofield Tuning. I am a certified Biofield Tuning practitioner, level 2. And my goal today is to help you reconnect with your center through grounding, awareness, and through the tuning frequencies of the tuning forks, specifically the 174, the 144, 528, and 417. Please refer to the description of the video for more information on the frequencies and more on the biofield tuning modality, including the electromagnetic field, the human biofield that we'll be working with today. Feel free to pause and come back to the meditation as needed if you need to read before you experience. And when you're ready, I invite you to make yourself comfortable in a relaxed, seated, or lying position, allowing your body to be fully supported. As you notice how your body is supported, relax your body further into that support, almost sinking into it as if you are one. Starting from the crown of the head, relax your muscles down to the neck, the shoulders, the chest, the back, your arms, wrists and hands, the abdominal muscles, your glutes, hips, your quads, your knees, calves, relaxing the shins and the ankles and feet, allowing your feet to fall to a natural position, relaxing your toes. Take a slow breath in through the nose and gently exhale through your mouth. Breathing in again. Exhale through your mouth. Allow each exhale to become a little longer than your inhale, giving your nervous system permission to settle. And bringing the focus back up to the top of the vertebrae. You have 33 vertebrae in the spine. And just notice the first one, relaxing that vertebrae, and then moving on to the second vertebrae, all the way down to the last one, and relaxing the sacrum. During this tuning, just notice what comes in, whether it's a thought, feeling, sensation, or memory. If you feel tension during this tuning, I invite you to breathe into that tension, wrapping the tension into the breath, and releasing that tension out through your feet as you exhale. This will expand the openness for your biofield. There is no right or wrong way to experience this session today. And of course, do not force yourself to relax. If needed, you can stretch, you can get up and move, drink water, and even pause the meditation or leave the meditation if this does not resonate with you. Remember that your nervous system knows how to communicate with you, and to receive that communication with compassion and patience. I'm going to start with the 174, beginning with the Earth Star. I will be moving it and rehoming it back to its place about 6 inches below the feet. The more you focus on breath and moving tension out, the easier it is to move the Earth Star. You may notice tension or sensations in different parts of the body, the shoulders, the hips, the stomach. That's okay. It's all part of the tuning. Just return to the basics of your breath. Moving up through the feet, the knees, up to the hips. The feet, the knees, the hips. Tend to be associated with feeling stuck, difficulty moving away from a stressor, not too sure about next steps or where we're headed, some uncertainty, challenges moving forward, challenges letting go, having unmet needs, overdoing and overthinking. And imagine the energy that we hold. It sticks, it's sticky, and we're detaching, we're releasing these little wrinkles of energy that are stuck, and we're moving them out of the way. It's as if you're running on a track and they're like hurdles that you have to continuously jump over. And if these hurdles were out of the way, you would just be able to run and not have to think about how you're going to navigate these hurdles. You just move through because you know exactly what you're supposed to do. So we're clearing the way, moving the hurdles. And these hurdles can represent beliefs, thoughts, emotions, fear, past relationships, even current ones. Switching to the 144 hertz. And I'm reminding you to use your breath to wrap any tension and move it out through your feet. There's a feeling of being rushed, fast decisions, not giving ourselves time to really sit and just notice outside of where those stressors are, to be able to observe and make an informed decision. And we're going to move up to the sacral, which is where 2 inches below the belly button. This is having to do with our environment, relationships, how we show up, intimacy, creativity. The sacral is easy to get stuck in because we hold a lot of emotion here, and feelings like guilt and shame, disappointment, sadness. So we have to move through this with a lot of compassion and kindness and with grace. I'm using the 417. And this is just to move some of the more stuck energy. It's a little deeper in there. Some of those emotions that we don't like to feel, so they can stick a little more. Just make sure you return to the breath and you wrap up any tension and move that out through your feet. Just do a little bit of work here. It goes a long way. Moving out those hurdles. I'm going to add the 528. And you might feel some of this on the backside, in the backside of the body or the chakras. That's how we receive. And depending on how we feel about ourselves and our environment, we can block ourselves from receiving. So we're going to open that up and move out anything that might be blocking you from receiving supports. Maybe you have a hard time accepting compliments. Or you have a tendency to push people away. I'm going to go up to the solar plexus and add the solar plexus into this one, because oftentimes the sacral and the solar plexus, because the solar plexus is our higher self, our inner wisdom, our higher knowing, it can get enmeshed with the sacral. And how we feel about ourselves and how we're connected to ourselves is going to impact how we show up in our relationships. And if you notice, the 528 is, a little dim. I'm going to move to the 144. Remember, it's normal to have tension in your body. You might feel something crack or some muscle tension. Just breathe through it. When there's a lot of unpredictability in our environment, it is more difficult to listen to your inner wisdom and knowing, because we look in our environment for those cues to guide our decision making. So focus on that inner wisdom, the solar plexus, which is, kind of at the bottom of the sternum, top of the actual solar plexus or diaphragm. And really just using your mind's eye, just with each breath, you're opening that up, expanding that. You might even just place your hand there for some grounding and just settle the solar plexus and acknowledge your inner wisdom, thanking your higher self. You might say, I hear you, I know you're there. If you feel that you don't have a good connection with your higher self or that inner wisdom, that, just say, I want to work on our communication. I want to build that, resiliency of that inner knowing. I want to be able to connect and allow it to guide you, because that's exactly what it's supposed to do. But there's so much noise, so we're going to try and move some of the noise out. Moving back to the 174. And do a little bit of a body scan from your crown, going down the neck, the shoulders, all the way down to the feet, and just doing a short check-in with yourself as we move through the solar plexus. Checking in with your feet, your knees, up to the hips, the sacral. Now I'm going to ask you to take a full breath in, all the way down to the sacral and up through the solar plexus, opening up that energy in your inhale. And when you exhale, I want you to imagine that you're expanding that energy. You're expanding that energy out. Inhale, wrap, and exhale. And moving up to the heart chakra. The heart is such a beautiful frequency to connect with. You might feel, if you're breathing into the heart space, it's going to be in the chest area. And the chest, when we are anxious or we're anticipating, when there's grief, unexpected things, we tend to harbor all that energy in the chest area. And when we do that, it can put up walls around the heart and not allow the heart to fully expand and really show itself in its truest form. And so we tuck that away because we become avoidant of pain and grief and loss, and it becomes more about that anticipation, that we have. So we're going to move, I want to focus on the chest and move that anticipation and some of that out of the lung area, the chest area, the throat area, above the heart, the chakra that's in the throat. That has to do with communication, feeling heard, or communicating in ways to where we're not expressing ourselves in the way that we want to. So your breathing might feel a little off, shallow. It might feel a little tightness in your throat. Just relax. And if you need to refocus your breath, feel free to breathe into the belly and take full, deep breaths all the way down if it's uncomfortable. The tuning fork is still doing the work. It's still moving and clearing and cleansing and getting the sticky energies to release. And something you might do in this moment is to go to your heart and imagine that you're sending your heart energy out to the people you love energetically, your spiritual support. Maybe you have a favorite place that you love. Like, I really love Oregon and the coast. Some of you might have animals that you love unconditionally. So this is about grace. This is about ease. The heart and its connection to humanity, especially these days. Staying connected to humanity is very important. I'm going to bring in a 432 frequency to settle the heart, to settle any anticipatory grief. You might put your hand on top of the chest area, the heart area, and place your other hand on top of that for a little extra weight. And just press into the body, grounding, establishing that presence, that touch, that support. Returning to the 174. And we're going to move up through the third eye and the crown, and moving any stuck energy. And as we move up through the crown, I want you to go and put your focus back down at the Earth Star, below the feet, and a light that's coming up through the earth, that magnetic field, and it's just going up through the feet, up through the knees, the hips, through the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, all the way up and out the crown. And it's going to funnel all around the outer biofield and back down through the Earth Star and back up. And it's going to cycle, and we're going to continue to move and get that flow going and really moving so that we can clear and cleanse not only up through the body but emit it outward through the biofield. And follow the light, the energy that comes up through the Earth Star. Follow the light. And if you notice anything, if anything comes in that feels stuck or tension, just move it out. Put that light, put that focus there and move it out. And now we're going to put our focus on the Sun Star, that representation of life force. And we're going to bring that electric energy down through the Sun Star, through the crown, all the way down through the feet, out through the feet, back up, and then through that Sun Star, back into the body, just like we did with the Earth Star. So I'm going to use the 174. Typically what we do, we become so rigid in our belief systems and our thoughts and how things should go, and it's very third physical plane. And when we do that, we tend to recycle our energy instead of opening up to receiving that electric energy, because that electric energy is not the energy in our head. It's not the energy that comes from our thoughts. So it's bigger than us. It's bigger than that. So we tend to pull that sun star down close to our crown. So I'm going to rehome that about 6 inches above the crown using the 174. So remember to breathe, wrapping up tension and moving it out through the feet. This should be a lot more smoother because this is revitalizing the body. We're revitalizing, we're waking up our cells and our muscles, we're bringing sunshine into the body. I want you to picture in your mind's eye a golden, just a beautiful golden iridescent light coming down into the crown of the head and just oozing down every structure, your skin, hair, muscles, cells, bones, veins, arteries. It's just bringing a warmth all the way down into the heart, into the tissue of the body, all the way down past the solar plexus. It's just all warm and peaceful and electric. It's light. It's going to go all the way down past your knees, through your feet, down and out through the body, and around and back up the biofield, and then it's going to come back through the sun star into the head. And as you follow this light, it gets warmer and more peaceful, and a deeper sense of presence and connectedness. As your energy expands, and if you're feeling very expansive, expand your energy, expand it out through the room, through the space you're in, ignoring the physical structure of the body and the buildings. Think of your neighborhood, your community, and expand that light. And hold that presence. There are no limits, no boundaries to energy. It's not personal, it's just energy. Energy is energy. When we personalize and we hold on to our hurt and our pain and our frustration, we also dim. We can dim. I'm going to weave in some 528. And when you breathe in, expand that breath all the way throughout your body and all the way expanding it out. You're breathing in all that energy. And on the exhale, allowing it to expand even further. Open, open, open. I'm going to use the 528 to seal up the energy, just creating a barrier, just to protect the work that we did today. And some reflection, what part of this tuning meditation do you want to come back to, that you want to bring with you as you move through your day, as, if you do face some unpredictability, what part of this resonates with you to where you can use it as an access point to return, even if it's just to pause and take a breath and to notice what's going on before reacting. And what part of you does that represent? And where's the importance of what you're connecting with and what you want to nurture and grow and, carry with you as you move through your day, as you move through time. What do you want to take with you to consider when making decisions? It's kind of like having that friend that you always call when something happens and it's like, oh, before I react, I'm going to call my friend and I'm going to get this person's, input. And, maybe that person helps you with some perspective. And in that moment, you can feel more confident about how you're going to respond. And so, whatever you're accessing today, as far as that inner wisdom, consider that your friend that you return to and you look to help guide you. As you come out of the meditation, please be mindful. If you're sitting in a chair or in an upright position, feel free to move your shoulders, your fingers, your wrists. Do some arm circles if you can, or maybe some twists, and moving your toes, your feet, your ankles. Take your time standing up. If you're laying down, feel free to wiggle your fingers and toes. You might bring your knees to the chest or bring your knees up and do some twists. Turning at your side into like a modified fetus or fetal position, and just enjoying that position for a moment before you gently, push yourself up into a sitting position. And for everyone, please drink lots of water today and get lots of rest.